welcome back. We are on day number eight of our yarn painting. And so it's going to be another really lovely work day today. I'm going to speed up my work so that you don't have to watch every painstaking little detail of what I'm doing, because at this point we already know what we're doing. It's a matter of taking the time, being patient, and continuing the process, working through that process. Being that we are on day 8, I just want to remind you we've got today to work, we've got day 9, and then on day 10 is when it's all going to be due. On day 10, our demo is going to be that turn-in process, but remember that it's not going to be due until midnight on day 10, or 11:59 anyway, on the day that it's due. So you can still use that as sort of a bonus work day as well. So just keeping that in mind. As of right now, we want to be sort of near that halfway point on our yarn painting. Remember that we really do want to fill the whole thing, so we shouldn't be leaving any areas just with the black canvas showing. So like, this is not done. This is maybe about, what do we say, 35% done, something like that. So I definitely still have quite a bit to go. I actually have some catch up to do even on my progress here. So kind of take a look at yours too. If you do have some blank spaces on yours, like maybe the sky, maybe you didn't put any yarn in the sky and you put lots of other like little detail things, kind of like me with the stars, for example. Now I am planning on putting stuff in the sky, my yarn, my thread in the sky, but let's just say you had a bunch of little stuff in the sky and you're like, I'm not going to be able to do that. So to get full points on this project, we do need 100% coverage. Now, obviously there's going to be little spaces and stuff in between. That's okay. When I say 100% coverage, is just that when we kind of like blur our eyes and look at it, it looks full. There aren't like big spaces that are open. So if you are like, yeah, Mrs. Stinson, that's not going to work for me. Those, the background or, this certain part, it's just not going to work to like fill that in completely. Or I don't think I'm going to like how that looks. I've got a solution for you. You also got some additional index cards, black index cards. So you can make another yarn painting. And let's say that this one here is, let's just go with 70% full with yarn. So on your other one, you're going to want to make sure it's at least 30% full or more to get to that 100% or the full points for the project, okay? So just clarifying, if you're going that route, that index card doesn't count for extra credit unless, let's say you go 70% on this one and 80% on the other one, showing me you went above and beyond that 100% expectation, then it could count for some extra credit. Speaking of extra credit, some of you might already be finished or finishing your yarn painting today. If that's the case for you, you could use those extra index cards in order to make additional yarn paintings. They don't have to be landscapes. They could be something different entirely, as long as it's school appropriate. Like always, we want to keep that in our minds, so keeping it school appropriate. But yeah, so you could do more yarn paintings for extra credit, or another option would be to make friendship or braided bracelets. That's going to be enough, because we're going to use the same materials, the same fibers materials to do that. So in our landing page, you're going to see, and in our slides as well, you're going to see some links that we have for you for how to make different kinds of braids. However, if you find other ones, that works perfectly as well. Okay? So don't feel like you have to use the tutorials that we've given you. If you know how to make braided bracelets, or you find a different one that you think looks really cool, definitely go for that. Not a problem. So yeah, those braided bracelets would also count. Another final thing before I get going here, make sure as soon as you do finish this, or any of the, if you do any bonus projects for this, photograph them immediately, put them into your art journal. We're a few projects in at the moment, and I can tell you we've already had a few students that have mentioned that, as projects have come and gone, they were done, but then this happened, and now they don't have the photo because they forgot to take the photo, and now they have to start over. I don't want that to happen to you. So whenever you're done with any project, this one or any future project as well, photograph it immediately. It's actually, you know what, it's not even a bad idea to just photograph it at the end of each day in case something happens. Then at least you can show, here's how far I had gotten on that one, right? So just keeping that in mind. That was more talking than I had anticipated. Let's get to the fun stuff. Let's get working. So without further ado, we're going to speed this up a little bit as I'm working on mine. You go ahead and continue working on yours wherever you left off. Ready, set, here we go. I'm going to leave it for today. I've got a bit more brown to go over here and then just the background. I think that it's a good idea if we want to kind of feel ahead of the game for next class, which will be day 9. I think if we can try to be about 75% done by then, that would be a really good thing. If you're a little behind, that 75%, remember we do have day 10, you can work on it. Our demo will be about turning it in, but if you also need to get some work done, that's okay too. And then if you are ahead of the curve, don't forget that you could also use one of your little index cards to make another yarn painting, as long as it's school appropriate. It does not have to be a landscape, or I should say, making some braided or friendship bracelets using the links that we've provided in the slides and the Art Hub. Or, of course, you could always find your own, or if you know how to make some already, feel free to do that. Can't wait to see how these are turning out. We're getting close to that finish line, so keep your patience, stay strong. You've got this.